This
Question before we
conference
get
will now
started.
be recorded.
How
Mm.
we
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so today we have to learn two tools, and both the tools are very important for our SDLC cycle. So, so, so first tool which we are going to learn, which is Artifactory. So, what is Artifactory? So now, before talking about this tool and stuff like that, let's uh, let's have a little bit of review of where we stand today in SDLC cycle in terms of training. So typically we do the planning, correct? And then after that we do the coding. After that we do analysis. After that we do the build. After that we do the UT. And after that we do what? Packaging and packaging. And here it is. And after that we do archiving, correct? Archiving. After that what we do is see, I'm forgetting right now. Anyone would like to help me? After archiving, what we do? Anyone?
Deploy.
deploy?
Deploy to QA. After that, what we do? AT, accept and testing. And after that, CC. This is the DevOps cycle which we are talking about. Okay. Monitoring is also there in the production and all. I'm not discussing. This is the pre-production right now. Production will take it separate discussion. So for the planning, we learn one tool that is Git. That is Git, correct? Planning.
Yes.
Think.
The Jira? No?
Jira and Confluence we
Confluence.
learn. Yeah.
Confluence.
For coding we learn Git with GitHub combinations. Analysis we learn SonarQube. For build we learn Maven and Gradle. And for unit testing is pending. We'll talk about in next session. Packaging we will learn Packer, and archiving we will learn Artifactory. Now this is the tool which is solving these two problems. So you understand that, like, why this session is important. These two tools which we are learning, which will solve this problem. Make sense, all of it?
Yes.
So for deployment to QA, we'll
Yeah.
learn Ansible and acceptance testing and all stuff like that. Apart from that, we had a few more sessions which is related to platform, generic for everyone, like a Docker, OS, and all stuff like that. So that is a generic for everyone nowadays. Okay, so these are the tools I'm teaching you right now, and starting with Artifactory. So the first question is, what is Artifactory? So as you know that now, where we can, store packages, correct? Packages, stored packages. So you will ask Rajesh, what kind of packages you can store? So what kind of packages you know that? You tell me. What kind of packages? Tell me.
Jar
Kind of
file
packages.
workflow.
Yeah. So can I call it Maven package? Because Maven is a build tool and very popular. So Jarvar, ER, all these are packages like Maven package, Java package, correct? So anyone else?
Gradle.
Red Hat package, RPM package, right? Yeah. So yeah,
Separate
there are a hell lot
packages.
of packages which we have. So I'll put it in this Artifactory packages types, repo types basically. I'll talk about what is a repo a little bit later. I'm just getting started here. So here you see that documentations, and here you see all the packages whatever it supported you have here. So Artifactory can store packages, but what type of packages? So see, Linux packages, Bohr packages, Cargo packages, chef packages, Conan packages, Conda packages, Cran packages, Debian packages, Docker packages, Git LFS. Git LFS, anyone have idea? What is a Git LFS? Anyone?
No idea.
No.
So in the Git, what we store? Source code, correct? You are not supposed to store the packages, binaries and all. So Git LFS, we store the packages, which is in terms of binary, like images, files, folder, GIF, movies file and all. So that is Git package, Git LFS. LFS means large file system. Okay. Go registry, Gradle we have, Helm we have, Maven we have, npm, NuGet. You see that Python packages, PHP packages, Puppet packages, again Python, RPM, Ruby, SBT. Vagrant packages, here you can also create a repository, you can store the Vagrant packages. Terraform modules and all, I'll teach you, you can store here. So these are the packages which is supported by Artifactory. Are you having an understanding now? Correct, all of you?
Yes.
So yes, Artifactory is used. Yeah. So Artifactory is used for storing the packages. So concept I want to teach you because this will help you. Okay. One more thing, guys. Those who are not speaking, please keep on mute because it will be easier for us. Anil, can you please mute yourself because you are talking and we can hear you. Yeah, thank you. So this is the sometime we have to take the concept here. So what is the concept? So here we have concept and this concept will help you all the time. Okay, so here we have a repository. Okay, repository concept. Before that, a registry concept is there. Okay, and repository, and here you have a packages, version of packages. You can say version of packages. Now here, what is registry in this case? So registry is something, it's like a tool platform. So here you have Artifactory is a registry, and in Artifactory you will create repository. Repository of what? So repository of same this kind of packages here. These are the repository you can create. Okay, and in the repository what you will have? Version of packages. So Artifactory is a registry basically. Are you able to understand this? Registry. So here I'll put it in this way. GitHub is a registry or a repository? Tell me. GitHub is a registry or
Repository.
Think. Just now I told. GitHub is a registry or repository? I just now explain you the concept. No. GitHub is a registry. Okay. GitHub is a registry, not registry. A drop repository. If you go to GitHub, you can create repository. See here, I am creating repository. See here, correct now?
Yeah.
So I can have as many repository, and repository will have what? In the repository, you'll have what? Version of source code, version of code, correct now? All of you?
Yes.
Yeah. So here we have a version of packages in Artifactory, in the repository, at Artifactory. Version of code in repository, it GitHub. So something like that. Let's say, tell me, Docker Hub. What is the Docker Hub? Is a repository or registry? I have just taught you Docker. It's a registry. And here we have a repository. And what is the version of? Tell me what is that? Here, repository. Here,
Docker
I might have. That's image is a package, but it contains repository. The spelling mistake was repository, correct? Repository. Yeah, I think this one is correct. So what is its content? Version of? Anyone would tell me, I'll feel happy. See, we have covered
Images.
Docker.
Images.
No. I mean, version of images, you can tell at a high level, that's correct. But I want to know technical things because I'm teaching you the way which is very from the basics. So I want to know what.
Packages. Version of package.
No, packages we use a generic word, right?
What was the
But I
question,
want
Rajesh? Sorry.
Container.
in the Docker Hub, we have a repository,
Okay.
correct? Let me show you here. Probably you will remember.
Okay.
Guys, you need to practice it. That's important.
It's
If you do not,
hub.doc.com.
yeah. So if you do not practice, this session will be wasted. So here, this is the my hub.docker.co. It's a registry, and here I go and create one repository, just like this. Here I creating repository here. Okay, let's say I create repository. This repository will contain what?
It contains artifacts.
I'm talking about the Docker world, container world.
Version of image library.
Docker
See,
images.
theoretically, you are saying is correct, but I want to have that knowledge. Which, okay, fine. What is image? Definition of image.
It's a bundle of
It's a kind of set of files actually.
File system.
Used to run.
File system. So, guys, after this
Software.
session, no, I wrote no just in front of you.
Okay.
Version of file system, aka image. Okay, image. What is image? Multiple file system. Okay, so go through the Docker session. Let me tell you, Docker is very important for your interview. Very important nowadays. Without a Docker, without a Kubernetes, it's almost impossible. Without Ansible, without Terraform, also almost impossible. Okay, so come out of this conceptually. You have a registry, you have a repository, and in the repository you may have a version of packages. It can be here is Artifactory, so version of binaries, or here code, and here file system. Concepts are same. Okay, all are version, but different versioning is there. Okay, coming back to the Artifactory store packages. Okay, now the question is, this tool has come from the which organization? So there is one organization which is called JFrog. Okay, so JFrog has multiple product. There's one of the product which is most popular is this one, JFrog. Now this is developed in Java. So the moment I say Java, that means lots of questions will be answered automatically, right? The moment I say Java, that means this product you can install anywhere. You can install anywhere. That's not a problem, right? You can install in Windows, you can install in Linux, you can install in Mac, and on top of it, you require JRE to run the software. Without JRE, you will not be able to run this. Okay, so that's developed in Java. Now next thing is uh, here in Artifactory, here you have a version which I'm trying to recollect that, but I am forgetting it. Artifactory version, and that is, I think 7. Yeah, latest version. So version which is 7.x. Okay. Now second, next thing is release. What are the different types of release we have? So actually we have a one release which is called community release. Okay, community release, and then we have a one is professional release, pro, and then one is enterprise release also. Okay, now you will ask what is the difference between these are the release. So community release they have only for the Java support, but Java support means Java packages you can store it free of cost, but pro have most of the things. Enterprise we have availability, high availability, and scalability features and all stuff like that. So let's see that here and keep it this URL all the time with you guys. So here, so now you see that here. Recently they have started offering the cloud version also, but right now we will not talk about it, cloud version. So see here, this is the CE community edition, OSS you can call it. Pro we have, and we have enterprise. Okay, so now difference between the pro, enterprise and community you have here. Okay, so most important thing is like what kind of packages you can store. So here you have a complete, you know, things. Okay, so now this is the things in offline you can study. Most of you will be having the pro if your projects are using this tool, and that is stuff. Okay, so now we have understood this is developed in Java, the version 7.x release, we have this mini release and so on. Okay, now why do we need this? I think more or less we understand why we need this. So anyone have idea why do we need this? Anyone? Anything?
Sorry.
To be able to download
What?
those packages somewhere.
So first reason is one place for all packages for your company, for your enterprise. This is big problems, right? Let's say you have hundreds of projects and tens of different packages types. So it's a one place you get everything. So one place for all the packages, from one place to download and upload. Very easy for enterprise, right? Centralized, you know. Security is another reason. Not everyone will have access to upload and download the packages, but you can restrict the security, audit, control, all these things you can, if you have one place, you can, you know, implement those stuff, right? Ease of administration. Ease of administration means what? You can delete the entire repository, you can clean up all these things, you can do that. You can create a users, you can create a group, you can set the permissions, you can take up a backup, actually you can restore it. So if you have everything centralized, you can do much more than so. Also this tool will also help you in terms of package integrity. Okay, package integrity. What is a package integrity? Anyone would like to tell me? Package integrity.
Validate if the package is being downloaded from the correct source.
Yeah, that's one.
Making sure the checksum is correct.
Correct. But why do we use a checksum?
Just to make sure that it is correctly exported and imported.
Yeah. So quality integrity means
Ultimately
quality
integrity.
of
Yeah.
packages. Quality of package. Sometimes what happens, the packages get corrupted, or sometimes what happens when you download, the package is not downloaded in the right form. So this tool will help you to manage the package integrity, checksum and all, and also durability of the package will be also managed through the some of the algorithms inside it. Okay, so this is the something which you need to understand. Okay, so why we need this, more or less we have understood. Anyone have any questions on this front?
This would also allow versioning as well, correct?
So here, yep, in the repository, you'll have a version of packages, of course, right? So this tool only, Artifactory, we have a repository, and inside the repository, you can have multiple version of packages, correct? Yeah, so we understood why we need this. Now, let's say you don't like this Artifactory. You say, I don't like Artifactory. Actually, I don't like Artifactory. First of all, their customer support and teams are very arrogant. I have realized so many times. And on top of that, if you look at this here, they have a multiple features. Okay, and if you see the CE community edition, hardly you have few options actually, and except the Java, you will not be able to store anything as such. See here, this is only the supported packages. See here, look at this. This is the best comparison you can see. So in the CE only we have this support, and all other supports you have in the Pro. Then you'll say, Rajesh, oh, yeah, that's a valid point. No, they are supposed to send shellers, but you know what? We have one more tool which I'm not covering right now, but this last year, this tool used to be in my list of training. I replaced with Artifactory this tool. So in this tool also, it's a competitor of Artifactory. They allow you to store in the community edition also everything. So they allow you to store. So here you can use this for Nexus. So Nexus and Artifactory, I don't see any differences. Okay, but right now this year actually, the Artifactory JFrog has spent a lot of money on the marketing and this that. So it's become very popular compared to some other. But I like this. I love this tool actually. Very good one. So yes, Sonatype is one of the Sonatype Nexus is one of the competitor for Artifactory. You can use this. Or let's say if you want to use a complete open source solution, then you can go for Apache Archiva. This one. This is also very simple to use, and okay, so this you can use it for this. Okay, so here this is the open source, complete open source product. You can use this one also. So it's up to you, your organizations, to decide what they want to use it. My recommendation, if you are suggesting your organizations to go for tools like this, then recommend Sonatype, and because you have a free options, lots of free options, lots of free supports are available compared to Artifactory. But if you have a setup already, then you should know, and then you have to support them. Make sense? Any other
Is
questions?
Azure Artifact also the example of this?
Yes, Azure Artifacts also use that, but limited options are there compared to this. Azure Artifacts also you can use it. Azure DevOps Artifacts. Yeah. Artifact.
Yeah,
You can
Rajesh,
use
I'm
it.
sorry for the. This is
Yeah.
Anvesh here.
Yeah.
Okay, in the plan, so okay, basically we'll plan the code and we'll write the code. After that, we'll do analysis the code and build the code, and after that, UT package archive deploy it in the QA environment. So what does it AT and CC? Because I was not there on the call, so that is the reason I'm asking you.
AT means acceptance testing. Means entire testing
Okay,
process which you go. Yeah.
got it.
And
Okay. What CC in the
CC
sense
for code coverage, Jacopo, and
code? Yeah, thank you.
after the testing it happens.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. So here this is the stuff. Now next question is architecture. Architecture of Artifactory. So if you look at the architecture at the high level, okay. So here this is you, and you interact to Artifactory server. Now Artifactory server, just ignore the spelling mistake, guys. Artifactory server is developed in Java, and then we have some database also. I call it RDBMS. When I say RDBMS means what? RDBMS means what?
Relational database management system.
Which are those?
RDMS.
Which are those?
Oracle
In Oracle SQL
SQL
Server.
Yeah, MySQL, MS SQL, Oracle, H2, Derby, Postgres. These are all RDBMS. So what I'm trying to say, it support all this what do you say, all RDBMS. If you want to know the list of it, Artifactory RD database requirement. This is the, just hit for that, and they support all the RDBMS here. See here, where is that? Somewhere. This is the complete product line actually. I'm only teaching you Artifactory, which is here. And if you see that here, right side, see MySQL support is there, MS SQL support is there, Postgre is there, MariaDB is there, and H2 and Derby also should be there, but it's highest. Default is H2, by the way, I know that, or Derby, I guess. Supported, what is the default? Just default database. Derby, yeah. So when I install the trial version, you'll be having the Derby. So they support all the RDBMS and get code. So yep, you have Artifactory server component in Java, then RDBMS, and then you have one data. What do you say? Data. We can say store, data store. What is a data store? So data store basically is storing all of your packages. So usually it can be in a same server, but most of the time if you set up enterprise architecture and all, this will be in a different server. That means from here you do the download and upload. Okay, download. So upload, if you do so through Artifactory server, it upload and store that file in the data store. Are you able to understand, all of you?
Yes.
Yeah. Now you will ask
Yes.
me, Rajesh, what are the storages supported by Artifactory? So I'll just go here and search for supported data storage. Okay, and here file store, basically we call it file store. Yeah, and here if you see, this is the so many options which you have, which you can see: local file system, cache file system, full DBs, S3 from AWS, and Google also supported here, Azure also supported here. You know, so many data option is supported. You can check this out here. And also, yeah, here. Okay, so now, so you understand the architecture, right? All of you? Any questions? All of you?
Yeah, no
No.
questions. Thanks.
Okay, so now we have understood at least what is Artifactory. Okay, why we need this concept of it, different types of packages supported by Artifactory, other tools also if you don't like Artifactory, and where it's placed in SDLC cycle, and then architecture of it. So more or less we understood that. Now next question is how to install it. There are tens of ways are there to install it. One of the ways I'll try to install it now. So let's get started. So first thing, what I will do, I will install in the VM only. You can install in the containers also. The only challenge is 30 days trial license, which we need to get it. So I'll go for my VM, which is template. Where is the template? Here it is. And I'll just clone this one for Artifactory. Artifactory demo and clone. Okay, so I did the full clone. And now I will just go here and start this view. Okay, now let's start it. Username is root, password is Rajesh123. Now what is IP address? I just need it. IP address is 11. So where's my putty? So this is the one. SSH root at the rate of 192.168 1.11. Password Rajesh123. So first thing what you have to do, you need to install the prerequisite. So install the prerequisite means what? So of course you know that Java. So Java 11, which I'm going to install it. Now we'll say, Rajesh, what are the Java supported? So you can, before installing it, please read this documentation itself. This is the prerequisite what you have completely. Okay, so Artifactory prerequisite. This is for the knowledge purpose, because if you are becoming administrator for this server, you should know all this stuff. Okay, so read this prerequisite. We have all the prerequisite for which platform, which network, Java, and all the stuff like that. So right now I'll go for 1.11. I mean 11 version. So how do we install this Java now? Java is there or not? See, it's not there. So what I'll do, I will say Java install DevOps. Now this is a tutorial which you'll get it, and it has all the consolidated list of techniques. So I'll go for RHEL because I'm using RHEL. So this is the RHEL. So I'll install this Java 11 version. Okay, and done. So okay, so Java is being installed. Let it get installed. After that, what we need, we need a package. Let me tell you that tens of ways to install the Artifactory, because you can install Docker also, Ubuntu also, this also, that also. So here I'll just say Artifactory download here, and here you have download options. So install the JFrog platform. Now you see that these are the n number of ways to install it. Yeah, Windows, Mac, OpenShift, Linux, Docker, this, that, all you can go for that. So I'll just click here, and I'm just playing the tactics. I want to just copy the URL, okay? And I just got downloaded, and I'll copy this URL and cancel it. That's all. Because I wanted to get the URL, right? That's it. I don't want it to download in my boxes. And done. Now I'll go to the OPT, okay? And here wget and OU copy, but wget and it says wget command is not found. That's a problem. So I need to install. Okay, just a second, hold on. Wget first. Let me install the wget, and I'll need to optimize a little bit more because this URL is pretty big actually. So what I will do, I'll just copy paste, and I see that this is the package, correct? Now I'll copy this guy, copy link. Where is that? Here, and I'll put it up. So this is a little longer. Okay, let it be. So this URL will work for sure. Let it be. I have to rename it. You can keep it in Windows, and from STP you can do that, SFTP or FTP. Unfortunately, okay, so just go for, they have changed the stuff actually. Let me copy one more time and copy, and this will be expired actually. That's the problem. So here 403 forbidden. Okay, no problem. So let it get downloaded. Meanwhile, I'll try that. How can you do through the command line also? So earlier this stack test used to work, but now it's not working. No problem. Let it be downloaded. I'll upload it through that. There's a compose, there's a Docker. So okay, this file is here. Debian you have it, RPM you have it, Helm you have it, but they removed from here actually. So command line options. And also we can make it this URL if I can try this one. So just delete all this stuff and replace this version with like this and like this. Let me try this one also if it's working. Clear the screen, wget and paste and wget and paste it. Enter, and it is working here. It is working. So this is the, you can also directly use this. So yeah, now there's a tutorials must be there. Artifactory install DevOps school. Okay, so right now you see here Artifactory install, and so you can follow also this tutorial and prerequisite you have here. Then these are the, so this version if you look at this OSS, okay, this OSS means the free one, and this is pro. So if you look at this here, it's a pro, you can follow this one also, but here the problem here is this is older version, this is the new version. Okay, so you have to get it this way. This is the Debian packages you can install, this is the Docker and so forth. Okay, so anyways, I got these packages and almost you have it. Now the next challenge is you have to have a 30 days trial period, because I'm downloading the pro version. So pro version you need a license for 30 days. So how do we get a license? For that I'm going to register for it. So what to do? I should go for start for free and trial version. Do you have a trial version? And this is every 30 days you have to you know, yeah, so you have to adjust that. So what I'm going to do is start for free, self-hosted, put the Rajesh Kumar. Email ID should be unique, because one email ID they generate only one trial license, so multiple you cannot get it. So that is something you have to remember. So I just feed one of my email ID which I can recollect, and say success. Let me get the license. And let me share with you the email. How do you get it? So this is the email you see my screen now. All of you.
Yes.
So
Yes,
here,
yes.
this is the license. Okay. So this is the Artifactory license. And if you have enrolled for DevSecOps course, I'll teach you this tool also. This is the X-ray tool. This is a different tool. Okay. It's a security related scanning. So I'll teach you this one later, but this is something which you have. And this will work for 30 days if I remember correctly, and get going. Okay, so now I have packages. This packages I wanted. I don't want to install the packages which is Debian based or RPM based. right now, because that way the files get scattered in a different locations, and people get confused about it. Okay, so this is the best way to learn actually and manage also. So tar hyphen zxvf file name, and done. So you see the 7.41 which we are trying. Done. So now you see that this directory, this is your every files which is related to Artifactory, you have that one place. Okay, now what to do? I'm not going to explain you and complicate this session, but rather than start these applications. So go to the app, here you go to the bin directory. Okay, and here you're going to start the Artifactory. Where is that? And it is somewhere here. Okay, now how do you know which are the files and all? So I'm using this file, but if you want to install as a service, you can use this file also. So that's part of admin, right now I'm not complicating too much. And Artifactory start. Okay, so now it has inbuilt Tomcat and everything. Derby database is default. So everything you have it already in place. Okay, so don't need to worry about it. So now if I see that whether it's started or not, so status, just wait for a few seconds, because a heavy application it required a little bit of more RAM and CPU. So I think I'm using 6 GB RAM or something. So you can do that. So here you see now everything's running. So here these are the component actually. Okay, so this is the Artifactory server. This is JF Connect integration, observability, front end, events, meta, router. These all are internal components, and right now you don't need to know that, but it's everything is up and running. So good. So now which is the port number? So port number is 8080. Okay, so 8080. So how do I know that? So 192 6, what is the IP address? I forgot that IP address. IP address is 11. Yeah. So here, uh, here 11 80 80. Okay. So it will take some times to load. Okay. You can also read their configuration file. Where is that? So go back, and there is a one location where you can find the configuration file, which is, I'll just tell you in some time. I need to check. No, it should be in that directory only, app directory. There's a one configuration file you can check and do the changes. So I'll just tell you a little bit later. Now let me see if it has come. Okay, so here 8080, and if I read this documentation, it says 8082. So that is correct. This is correct, 8082. I forgot the port number actually. So 8080 is at Nexus, I guess, if I'm not. So let me see that port number. And one more thing, service is running. So but it takes some time to load it. But why is not loading 80 and 82 port? It should read that. Sorry. So I believe, any idea?
Network, you have to enable networking.
So maybe firewall is stopping. So I'm just guessing, stopping the firewall, and disable the firewall also for next. And now if I check this, it's gone. Now let me hit the 8080, which was the older port in the last version. Artifactory was using 8080 also, but it's the old port. So let me see if they're redirecting or not. Okay, no. Okay, so this is the one, 8082. Now here you have a default username is admin, and default password should be admin or password itself. Let me check password. So here PASSWRD. This is the one. Now this is the welcome to JFrog platform. Get started. Change the password. So ATMIN123. Okay, they have again changed the policies. So I have to use some complicated password. So ADMIN $123 or something. 1234. This password I'm using. Remember. So username is done. And next. Next. Now here you have to give a license. If you are not giving a license, then the multiple package manager will not be there. Only Maven will be there. So for that, I have a license already. Based on my experience, I think this is active for 30 days. That means you can use up to 30 days more license. Now, because of the base URL, I am not having domain and all this mapping and all. I'll not complicate and move into the next step. Now, proxy for the internet for Artifactory. So this also I'll just skip it because I'm in a public network. Now, what are the repository you want to create? Right now, I don't want to teach you anything here. Skip. These are the support which you have. So,
Could you explain the proxy a little bit? I was not able to understand.
Yes, yes. I need this image actually. Yeah. So, just give me 2 seconds. Okay. So proxy means what? So here, uh, proxy means simple thing, that is, so this is the Artifactory. Okay. Now this guy may need to talk to internet, but your organization says it cannot allow direct internet. So for that, if this Artifactory wants to talk to internet, then in that case you need a proxy, because every organization this setup is there nowadays. So you, even your laptop is getting internet through the proxy server. Proxy server, why they use it? So they want to control your access, and on top of it they want to see that what you're doing on it. Kind of. Make sense?
Yep.
So here the proxy server address will be somewhere else, but you have to give it in the Artifactory. Now the next question you will ask me, Rajesh, why they need to talk to what internet? So internet, you have multiple public repository. Public repository means Docker Hub, Maven Central. Remember first session we did it. PY, Python packages and all. So these all repositories located in internet. And from there, if you want to store the packages here, then you need the internet. Correct now?
Yeah.
So like, so this I'll skip it, this one also. Though this image, quality image, I did not get it. Yeah. So I wanted to have a quality image, but it's okay. Let me do one trick here one more time. Just give me a few seconds. Oh, selection is not there. Oh. It's okay. So skip it. and congratulations, setup is done. So this is your Artifactory server. Now I want you to focus on these two parts. Look at this here, this part. So if you see here, there's one setting button and there's one view button. So this view is for the public, anyone can see. This is only for administrator. So remember all the time this one. View button, public, admin button, all this thing you have. Right now I'm an admin, so I can see everything. Correct now? Makes sense, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, so now the question is, how do we start working on it? How do we start working on it? So first thing, this is called JFrog Artifactory basic workflow with Maven repo. This is something which I'm teaching you. So which are the type of packages I'll teach you today in this session? So I'll teach you two kind of packages. One is like a Maven repo and one is Docker repo. These are the two repo which you'll use it. Here if you use Maven repo, it will become a Gradle also. Both are same actually. Okay. So both are using the same engine basically. Okay, so that means in a simple way, how to download and upload your packages in Maven, that's one question, and how to download and upload your packages of Docker images. Make sense, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, so now what is a basic workflow? So first time if you're starting, let's do this first time. First time which you're starting, so first thing which you have to do is create a user. Okay, create a user. Now the question is, how do we create a user? So here I'll go, and here you see so many things. This is very simple, by the way. Don't stress your mind saying that okay, it's a complicated tool. Very simple tool. Okay, so here you have a create a user, and creating a user, creating a group, authentication, permissions, and all things is done through the this part. Okay, and this part. So here, before talking about this one, let's also cover the authentication and authorization in Artifactory. So what is the difference between authentication and authorization? Anyone have idea? Anyone have
Authentication
idea?
means user can log in. Authorization means if the user can access that particular
Perfect.
page with login.
Yeah, I'll just add one more point. So authentication means how, authentication method, techniques. Okay, method and techniques. How users should log in. How? For example, you can log in using user ID and password, or you can log in using token, or you can log in using certificate, or you can log in using LDAP, or you can log in using any third-party libraries like Twitter, OpenID. Correct now? So authentication means that one. Authorization means what? So if you logged in, any ways you logged in, and number of ways you have logged in, what you are supposed to do, what you are allowed to do. I logged in, but I cannot do this or that, or I can do everything. So how do you set? That you set through the authentications. So now you'll ask me, Rajesh, what are the authentication methods supported in Artifactory? So let me go and show you. Here you see authentication provided. They have given you. So you can log in the authentication. You can allow the user to log in using LDAP, SAML SSO, Auth SEO, HTML SSO, CrowdJira, SCIM, and Vault. These are all this. Inbuilt, there is one user ID and password which we are using. This one I logged in as an admin because of the inbuilt login authentication. Okay. So these are the also you can configure it. Right now we are not getting into it because we have none of this setup ready. So you can most of the time, 100% out of it, let's say 80-90%, you will use LDAP. So you'll talk to IT team and say, hey, I need to enable LDAP authentication for Artifactory. Give me this all the settings, and you can add all these settings, enable LDAP, all these things. This you fill and test it and use it. Simple. So right now we don't have, but you have to do that if you are setting first time. Most of the organizations will have a setup already in place, so you don't have to do that. But yeah, I'm just giving you, these are the options which is available, you can allow. Vault has come recently. I'm seeing the first time. Maybe it might have come in last few months. I did not notice. Vault means what? Anyone? Vault means HashiCorp Vault.
It has encrypted password.
Yeah, HashiCorp Vault. So those who are enrolling for the DevSecOps, I will cover this tool also for security purpose. So this is the things. Jira already you know that probably. So SAML and all, auth and all, these are the things we have. Okay, so this is authentication. But what is the next? Authorization means what you are supposed to do. Let's say I logged in number of ways, whatever you allow. Then I should also have some access, right? Authorization. How do I set this? So that authorization you set through the user management here. If you look at this here, user management, here you have a setting, create a user, create a group, create a rules actually, set a permission, access token, many things you have it. Okay, so this is called authorizations. Okay, so now I was doing the same thing, authorizations. So here what I was doing, creating a user. Okay, so I'll just go here and create a user. Okay, but you know what guys, when you create a user, let me show you first, then you'll understand. When we create a user, I give the name and email address and password, and here I have to select the group name. Okay, and there's one default group name which has come readers. So what is a group name? What is a group? What is a group? All of you?
Number of
All of you?
bunch of users.
Bunch of users. And here you have to select that permissions also. See here, permission on repository, permission for the build, permission for the release bundles. So here right now I'm talking to only repository because I don't want to use the Artifactory as a CI tool right now as a CI integration and stuff like that. So repository, we don't have any repository. Okay, we don't have any repository. So you will have access to repository. You will be a part of the group, and then these are the things. Now here, these are the permission. Look at this here. These are the permissions. Read permission, deploy permissions, delete permissions, allocate permission, manage permissions. So this is something, this permission is coming from here. So here you can add this group. Let's say go for the users, new users, and here you can add this permissions, here permission target anything which will have. Okay, so here these are the stuff, permissions you have, roles also you have it. You can create a roles. This is the inbuilt role which you have. These are the inbuilt role. You can edit any of these roles and you can get it. So what should I do? So we need to understand this one first. Okay, so right now what Artifactory has done it, very simple one. Okay, what Artifactory has done it, Artifactory has have so many permission, 1 permission, 2 permission, 3 permission, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40. Where is the permissions? So you can see the permissions here. Okay, now this permissions, you bundle it and create a permissions. Sorry, this is the policy, my bad. This is the policy, and then you bundle it this permission and a policy and create a permission. So here you see this is the permission. So each permission, if you go and you see that edit which permissions, so here which user, which group. So we'll go for the resources. See here, these are the repository. Okay, anything you can do that. Users, see here, repository, read, allocate, deploy, and all. These are the policies, and group what you can do. So what resources? Permission means what resources, what user, what group. Okay, so these are the mapping which you have and what you can do. So here what they have created permission. Now permissions have a 3 mappings, one repository plus one user and plus group. Okay, so based on the permission applied to the repository and that user or group, you'll have permissions. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes.
So what should I do? So what I'll do, I'll create first group, then I'll create a user. After that, I'll create a repository. After that, I'll create a permission, and after that everything is done, and then upload and download. So these are the things we'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's get started doing. So first we'll create a group, and here I'm creating one group which is called DevOps School Group. Okay, now if you want to make this member of this group admin, or you want to give access of roles, manage resources, you can give it. But I don't want to give these roles immediately. I'll come back. Do we have users? No users. I have not created any users. So save. Okay. So this is the this is the group I created. Okay. This is the group I created, and these are the things which you have. Are you able to understand this?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just take a screenshot also. So this is a new release, so I need to update my blog also. Done. So this is the something which you have to do. Here you need to upload and done. Okay, so now next thing what I have to do, I need to create a user. How do we create a user? Upload or deploy. Username is deploy. Okay, email address deploy@of devopsschool.com. Now I am not giving any rules, and password is, I need to remember this password. Okay, this is the password here. Okay, so don't give any access, because the moment you give access, this guy will have all access. You don't need to do the rest of the things. Okay, so which group? So this time I'll select this group. Now you'll say readers is automatically coming, so it's a default. You can add it also. Okay, so here I added, and here create a user and add. Here I'm putting up named DevOps School, and here create a user and add to a group called DevOps School. Okay, so this is the things done. After that, just after that, what you have to do, save it and done. So this is done. User created, a group created, user created. Now repo. So repo means what? So repo means a place where your packages will be stored. So there's some topic which you need to understand here. What you need to understand here? A repo type. See, I'm not saying package type, I'm saying repo type. So in Artifactory, there's a 3 types of repo. Okay, 3 types of repo. What are those repo? We have a local repo, and we have a remote repo, and then we have a virtual repo. Now you will say, Rajesh, what is the local repo? What is the remote repo? What is the virtual repo? First, let me show you that area. In fact, one more is there, but I'm not talking about that. So let's go to this. You see here repository, all of you. There's a repository.
Yes.
And here you click on the repository. And you see remote, a local, remote, virtual, and federated. Federated I'm not discussing right now, just focus only on 3. So add local, remote, virtual, and federated. So now you will ask me, Rajesh, what is the difference between all this repository which we have? So let's understand this first and then we'll create it. So here, this is a India location. This is the India location. Now we have in USA locations also. USA team also is working. Now in India, and the difference between India and USA, probably, I don't know, maybe 20,000 kilometers. Okay. So see here, this is the engineers who is working, and every day they will do download. So tell me one thing. Here, if they have a local Artifactory server, here there's Artifactory server, and then here also Artifactory server is there. Now here this Artifactory server can be Nexus also, Artifactory also, some other repository also, registry also. It can be anything. Okay, but I'm using for this discussion 2 Artifactory server. And in USA also we have some team member. So tell me, if I do download and upload 20 times in a day, single engineer, so which one will be faster, talking to this Artifactory or talking to this Artifactory? Which one will be faster?
The one
Local.
which location, same location.
Of course, simple logic. So here, if you download and upload from your local repository, which is your local network, cost also will be reduced. Latency will also very high, and then you will be able to, let's say, you'll be able to download in 2 seconds. Here you may have 5 minutes. Correct? No? Correct.
Yes.
So you, let's say, if you download and upload 20 times in a day, which you do that actually, every developers download, upload multiple times. So 5 is to 20 times. And this, how much? 20 times means 5 means almost 100 minutes you are spending only on download and upload. This 100 minutes, what we call it in a DevOps world, what kind of wastage? What kind of wastage?
Capacity.
First session, huh? First session we discussed actually. Anyone? What kind of wastage? So guys, we have to take sessions seriously.
Sorry, what is the question, Rajesh? Sorry.
I'm saying like engineer has to wait for for downloading and uploading 100 minutes. So what kind of wastage this is called in DevOps world? Waste.
Manual effort also.
Waiting
Capacity.
waste. Waiting waste. Remember there were so many waste we discussed. Waiting waste, overproduction waste, motion waste, transportation waste, correction waste. Remember? Yeah. Go through the first session again. I think people are taking very lightly. Okay, so this is called waiting waste. Okay, so this is not a good approach, right? Same problem US team also will have it. So now the question is what to do. So very simple thing. What we are going to do? We are creating one. I'll change the color. We are creating one repository here, one more. And what I will do? Very simple thing. From this repository, anytime whenever there is an upload here, this automatically will sync to this repository. So here, if you see, let's say if you have 50 engineers working in India, so they don't need to go 50 times upload and download to the US server. They can talk to the here. So upload will be only one time refresh, and these all engineers can download from the local server. So this cache server has to be a cache repository has to be created. Are you understanding this? Same thing can be
Yes.
done in USA. In USA, you will make a cache replica of this one to this one. So now the question was, what is a local? So local repository is something for me, for India, the local repository is this. And what is a remote? So for me, for India, engineers from India, the remote repository will be this one. Understood? All of you?
Yes.
So for the local repository, you can upload and download both the things you can do that. But remote repository, you can only download, not upload you can. Because download will happen always here. Make sense? Sorry, upload will happen only here. Are you understanding?
Yes.
All of you are clear with the local versus remote? So local is like a storage is local. Remote is a reference for the some remote repository. It can be located anywhere, and it's a cache copy of it. It's only used for the downloading purpose, not for uploading purpose. Cache copy, you can say.
So the remote repository which we are talking about should be the same repository type, like Artifactory only.
Yes. Yeah. No, Artifactory is not a type. Let's say here, if it's a Docker, here also it should be Docker.
I
Here
mean,
with
in the
Lambda.
Artifactory only it should exist, not outside that.
No. I said very clearly, it can be Artifactory, it can be Central, it can be Docker Hub, it can be Nexus, it
Okay,
can be
okay.
Archiva, any here. It can be anything. Okay.
Any remote
It should
repository.
be, it should be in the format of Maven, Docker. All type should not be mismatched.
Okay.
Got it, all of you?
Yes.
Wonderful. So now next question you will ask me, Rajesh, what is virtual? What is virtual? So virtual is nothing, I don't know, they should rename it actually, because we always get a confusion. Virtual means group repository, group ID.
One
So
question I
what?
have also about remote.
Uh,
When we are configuring, it gives an option to authenticate with the repository as
remote.
well.
So
Okay.
here you will have a, let's say, central, Maven central is public. Anyone can, no authentication required. Or Docker hub.docker.com is like no authentication required to download the packages. But for some private registry, private repository, you require some authentication. So you can give it here.
Okay. When you are configuring it.
Yeah. Okay. So now, third thing, what is a virtual? So virtual is group. So let's understand the problem here. Let's say, I'll put it in this way. Let's say you are a developer, and developers, you have a 50 packages. You need a 50 packages to build your product. Dependency, we call it third-party dependency. Now let me put it in this way. If I give you 50 packages, you will get it for sure. If I give you 50 repository or one repository, which one you opt for? Tell me. In your coding, I'll say, hey, this 50 package you need. This 50 package is located in 50 repository, and this is the address. Or I'll give you only one repository and state that this is where you can get all the 50 packages. Which one is you will be opting for? All of you?
One
All of you?
repository per package.
One repository. So that is what the problem here. Here you have a multiple repository, and one package here, one package here, one package here, one package here, one package here. So I don't want to have multiple repository. Rather than, can we virtually create one common repository which consists of every repository and give it one URL for it and give it to the developer? Yes, that's possible, and that is done by the virtually. That's by virtual types. Virtual type is like a group of local and remote with a one address. Okay. Okay, are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the virtual type. Now, how do we create it? So now this is the place where we want to create a repo. This is a local repo, local Maven repo. Okay, step number 1, create a repo, a remote repo, create a repo, virtual repo. Virtual repo. Okay, so these 3 things we have to do. Can we do that? Let me show you here. So go to add repo, local repository. Here this is the Maven. Where is the Maven? Here it is. Now what is the name of this? So I'll name it Maven local. Okay, Maven local. Okay, Maven local. And here everything let it be same. I'll not complicate and create a local. Done. See here, Maven local, Maven type. Now create repository, remote, Maven. Maven local, sorry, it's a remote Maven. Now for this remote, I need a one remote repository. So I'm using, by default they've given it to you. I'm using this one. Got it, all of you? It's a Maven session. We talked about central repository. Correct me?
Yes.
So here this is something which you have, and for this there's no user ID and password required. So no SSL certificate also. So create. Now I created 2. Okay, one is local, one is remote. Now I'll create one virtual. Okay, so here I'll create a virtual and Maven. Where is that? Here. And group, I'll call it group DevOps. Okay, this is the DevOps group. Now you have to select these 2 because I created 2, so it has 2. Done. Create a virtual. And here, so all these 3 things is done. Don't you think so? Any questions? Any doubts?
Now, how would you access using virtual repo the remote or
That I'll
local?
talk about. That I'll talk about. Okay. So any questions on the creating part, all of you? Okay, great. So now we have a step number 1, 6. We have to create a permission. So let me create a permissions here. Go to the user management and permissions. Here, create a new permissions. This is the DevOps school permissions. Which repository? So I have all this repository and local. If you want any local, any remote, any, you can do that. But you should add the include repository. What is this? Here. So Maven remote, and this is the repository address. Virtual, for that there is no requirement. Okay, and done. So repository added. Now which user? I'm not adding user, though I am having one user which is deploy, but I'm not adding user. I will go here and add a group which is DevOps group. Done. And Now you have to set, these are the repository you added, what are the group permissions. So here you can set the permissions, what permissions is required, and so on. So build is not out of the scope of this session. So create. So now all of you understood this flow?
Yes.
Hello? So guys, all this thing is done. My username and password is this one, and my repository is this one. Okay. So now next module is how to upload, and then followed by I'll teach you how to download. So for uploading, step number 1, please understand this. For uploading, step number 1, okay, edit the pom.xml and add upload repository to be uploaded. Now, what is a pom.xml? I forgot that. Anyone remember?
Configuration file for Maven project.
Project, Maven project, yeah. Pom.xml. Step number 2, edit a setting.xml and add access of the repository. Now the question is, what is the setting.xml? Hello?
Yes. Alors, it is the Maven setting.xml for user scope.
Yeah. See, this pom.xml for the configuring the project. Setting.xml is to configuring the Maven itself. Getting opens? Maven. This is for Maven configuration. This is for project configurations.
Maven configuration in your IDE? No? Where is what?
Maven
Yeah.
configuration is, there is a tool called Maven, and I want to
Which
customize.
is installed in your project, which you are creating.
No. Maven is a tool, and source code which has some project. For that, you have a pom.xml. Maven configuration, project configuration.
Okay, got it.
So if you want to customize the Maven, setting.xml. If you customize the project, pom.xml. Maven session we discussed. Okay. And
Yes.
after that, step 3. No one is stopping you to run this command. So now this command will do this. Now here
So
also I will add some learnings for you. So
in the
forget
step
about
2,
rest.
we do the authentication. For authentication purpose, it is there. The step 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Edit.
See here, access of the repository.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is something which I am going to tell you now. So guys, can you please tell me, because I forgot, what are the different goals you have tried from last 6-7 days? Because Maven session we did it last week only. So which are the things which we did? Which is the goal for Maven?
I think compile, build, deploy.
Compile, build. There is no goal actually. Compile.
Sorry, compile, deploy, and test. I think also there.
No. Let's get into the phases. I told you life cycle. You should not forget the rule of nature. Remember, you were the god of the project, and you set some.
The life cycle is defaults.
Tell me that what is a goal for that life cycle? Default life cycle.
Yeah, defaults.
After
And we
that,
have
which you use.
Validate.
And there were many, but popular one which I taught you. Package, correct now?
install.
Install and deploy.
Deploy.
Correct now? So these are the popular one. There were 23 more, but you can check it out a little bit later. A request, I feel from inside like guys are not focusing on the lab part or maybe home preparations and all. So you have to repeat that. By looking at the training only, you will not be able to do the things properly. You have to practice it also. Okay, so compile, you know that what it will do, test package. Now what it will do by install and deploy, I did not cover in Maven. So now I'm covering it. So what is happening? Packages is ready. By the way, do you know location which place the package is ready? Which location? Where the packages you can find in the Maven? No? I think, do you forget this target location folder? Correct now? So you will find the packages in the target locations. But the question, when you run the Maven install, what will happen? You know what? The packages from the target folder, it will go under the M2 folder. What is M2? Anyone remember? Hello?
I'm not able to
M2 means
recall.
local repository. I'll show you that. See here. This is the folder. Remember M2?
Yes, where the all libraries get
Correct.
downloaded.
Local repository. Yeah. And after that, we have a deploy. What will happen? The packages will be taken from the M2 and upload to Artifact. So now you understood the logic why I'm running deploy.
Yes.
It can be in Access also. So you should run deploy because of they will take the packages from the M2 and deploy to the Artifactory on Access, and that is done by ambient deploy. So how to upload? These are the 3 steps you have to perform. All of you are clear, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now guys, same things I will do in front of you. Okay. So how to edit the pom.xml, I'll teach you. How to edit the setting.xml, I'll teach you. And then run the Maven deploy. Okay. So let's get started. So I have a project which is from the last training, and I stored somewhere inside C drive if I'm not forgetting it. And workspace. I think Maven, here. This is a chat project. I'm using same as last session, and this is the one. So what to do? I modify the pom.xml. So what to do? This is the pom.xml. I'll open up. Okay. Now in this file, what should I do? So here, add repository to be uploaded. So uploaded means this is the repository, local repository to be uploaded. Remote you should not use for the upload. Okay. So uploaded. So can we go now? I'll go, you know what? I'll go to the front end and I will click on Artifactory and I will click on packages, builds, artifacts. Now artifacts will have all the Artifactory repository. So which is the repository I wanted to upload? Maven local. So I'll click on it. Now you know what? There is some code has to be filled here. But I know that code, but for you guys, because you might do the mistake. So for that, just click on the repository. And do you know set me up? All of you? Hello? Hello guys?
Yeah.
No, Raj.
No.
Set me up and deploy. This is the, you are able to look at that button, right? Set me up and deploy.
Yes.
Yeah. So here I'll click on the set me up. Okay. Click on the set me up. And here it will generate setting.xml entry. Setting means this one. And if I click on the deploy, here it will generate. Here it will, so here you can upload manually, which I'm not doing it. I'm doing through the Maven deploy. So here single deploy, drop a file and put the target part. Okay. So right now I'm using the set me up. Select this repository, set me up. By the way, if you see that here, okay, there's no package, no problem. So go to the set me up, Maven type, package type, repository, and here configure. This configuration will help you to, and here I click on the deploy, and here I got the entry. This entry is the one I was looking for it. Okay, so see that here. Element in the Maven is distribution management. Using that, you can call the repository URL. Now, what is the snapshot? Anyone remember that? What is the snapshot? Snapshot? What is a snapshot in Maven? So remember that there are two types of release which we had. One is release, one is snapshot in Maven. So all the snapshot package will go to this repository. All the release package will go to this repository. Right now we have only one repository, so that means this one repository will be holding the release also snapshot. It's not a good practice. It's not good practice. What you should have been done while creating a repository, go to the setting, repository, add repository, local repository, Maven, and here while creating a repository, you could have said, hey, I want to create repository for, where is it? Just give us some name. I want to create repository for the reach. It's here, or snapshot. So right now by default it's a both, but practice you should have a release repository separately, snapshot repository separately. But I did not do that because I didn't want to complicate it. Discard. Okay. So now Maven local, set me up, deploy. This entry I need it. So I got this. What I will do, I'll copy this and here somewhere paste it. Are you comfortable so far?
So if I don't add snapshot repository part, would it not upload snapshots or deploy snapshots, or would
If
it
you
be
don't
required?
add this, no. This entry is for the release package type, release version. This entry for the snapshot. If you miss this one, then it will not be uploading the snapshot, only release. Okay. So by default, it comes both actually. In Maven world, it coming up with the both. Okay. So that is done. So work number 1 is done. Are you comfortable so far?
Yes, one more question. So if I choose release only, then if I add configuration for snapshot, it will not work. Is that what will happen?
No. You just keep it added here. This is a permanent configurations. Okay.
No. When I'm creating a repository, you mentioned, right? We should create separate for snapshot and.
By default, it is holding both.
Yes.
But
So
it should
because we
create a
chose
separate.
both options.
Then this URL will change.
Okay.
Correct?
No. What I'm saying is, let's say I created a repository with release option chosen, but I added the URL in the snapshot repository.
Against the policy of Maven. Maven has a policy. Remember, Maven is a procedure. If you violate Maven policies, then they will not help.
Okay, it will not work.
That's it. It will not work. That's the reason they have it all this specification, no? That's why do we need it? Okay, so now this is the things. So are you comfortable with the step number 1, all of you?
Yes.
Okay. Step number 2, I said go to setting.xml and add access to the repository. But I'm not using the same navigation, because if I use it, I'll tell you. See, this I have used it, okay? And release, snapshot, mirror any, all this thing. And if I generate a setting, you know what? This is a huge line actually. And I don't know whether you'll understand right now or not. So I'm not copying and pasting, though I can do that, but it will confuse you. And so I'm not doing this one, copying from here. Then you will say, Rajesh, what you will do? So I'll directly go to the setting.xml and add few entries over there, just for your reference. Where is the setting.xml? So I install all of my tool in C drive, tools location, Maven, configuration. Here is your setting.xml. Okay, are you able to understand that, right? So this setting.xml, I'll open up in the Notepad++ here. I'm not copying entire thing, because you know this is the whole setting.xml, and you know this is also whole setting.xml. I don't need this one. So what I'll do is, here you should understand this file, and I request you to open up with the Notepad++ one. Why? Because 90% of the lines are commented here, which you can see in the green. I don't know whether you can see or not. Non-commented line you can see in the blue. Okay. So here you see that everything is all this section. A lot of things you can do that. Right now I'm not complicating it. So what I am doing right now is, right now I'm doing is, I am modifying, I'll just add here, edit a setting.xml and add access of the repository in server element. Server element. Are you understanding, all of you? Where is the server element? Here it is. See here, servers starting, servers closing, and inside that you will put a number of elements. One more, server element. What is the username? So username was deploy, and password is this one. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll see this ID and this ID is same. It will not allow. Delete this. So guys, here central, deploy, and deploy one. So this is clear, correct, all of you?
Yes.
Now you know what? One specification I must tell you, and that is, okay, that is, go to the pom.xml. Let me close all this file actually. So open up setting.xml again and go to the server element, which is here, and then I would like to open up this form.xml, and here this is the stuff. So now one more steps I would like to add, because I think you will make a mistake. And what is that? Step 3. And here I'm putting up, make sure, please understand that, make sure element ID of repository and snapshot repository must be equal to what? To what? Server element. Understood or not?
Yes.
Okay, so let's match this. So for that, what is the element ID? Central. Here, what you have? Central matching. That means for this repository, this is the user ID and password. So for this, I don't have it. So I will create one new one and I'll just copy snapshot, same user ID and password. I'm using it. It can be different also. Make sense, all of you?
Yes.
So this is something which I'm going to add inside a server element setting.x. So this is done. This is also done. Finally, ambient deploy. Can we do that? So guys, here you come here and ambient deploy, and mind it, my package is snapshot. So you should go to the snapshot. Okay. See, uploaded where? Snapshot. Okay, done. Can we go and check? Cancel this. See here. Com, DevOps school, software, chat, snapshot. This is the package. jar file. Why it has taken that here? Com, DevOps school, software, chat, version, and import. Understood, all of you?
Yes.
That's all. So this is the way how to upload the resources. These are the steps you need to remember. Any questions, guys?
No.
Okay. So now next thing is, this is uploading is done. But how to download? That is a question. So which package I have downloaded? Uploaded? Chat 1.2. So here what I will do, simple thing, I'll write it first. So step number 1, make sure the package which you are downloading is in Artifactory. That's the first thing you have to check. How do I check? You know that this package I want to download. But let's make it do one thing. Let me make a release also. So I'll just remove this. Release version will be much more better way to download. So ambient deploy. Oh no. Ambient deploy. I'm making a release also. Okay. This time release. See, uploaded done. Okay. Uploading here done. Can we go and verify? So under the chat, where do we refresh? Here. See here 1.1. Okay. This is the release version. So release is good to download. So how do we download using Maven? So first thing, make sure the package you are downloading is in Artifactory, that is there. I validated. Step 2, modify pom.xml, okay, pom.xml with a, which one? With a what? With a dependency. Modify pom.xml with a dependencies element. Step number 3, make sure Maven is default registry is Artifactory instead central. Did you understand this statement?
Yes.
See, when you try to download using Maven, the central is a default registry, correct now? But we need to inform, hey, central, don't go to central, go to the Artifactory. For example, if you remember my last session, I say Maven first read the pom.xml, read the dependency, look for the M2. If M2 is not found, go to the central. But here, I don't want to go to the central, I want to go to Artifactory. Correct now? All of you?
Yes.
So you'll say, Rajesh, how can we get the central repository? So for central, you can create a remote repository here and a group. Make sense?
Yes.
So this will be Artifactory for everything. So now what to do? This is the third step. And after that step 4, Maven goal, call it anything, package or whatever. So let me do this. So first one we know that. Second thing, modify pom.xml of with a dependency element. So this should be some different project, because project 1 is dependent on project 2, something like that. So I have uploaded chat, but Maven mail is dependent on chat. So I'll go to the mail, and here I will add the dependencies. That means mail product is dependent on chat. Here mail product is dependent on JUnit also, but it's also dependent on chat. What to do? I can manually modify also, but this is the place where you get it. See, if you want to add this as a dependency, this jar file as a dependency, Maven code, IBE code, Gradle code, and SBT code. Okay, so this is the Gradle code. Remember, Maven code I need it. So copy, and under the dependency, add this line. So this is the dependency. So here, done. Did you understand, all of you?
Yes.
That means the mail software is dependent on the library, which is chat, and the one dot. Correct now? So now you know what? Next one you have to do this one. So how do we do that? So for that you have to modify the proxy. Here there is a server element, and here okay. So here, sorry, not proxy, sorry, mirrors. Okay. So this is the mirrors, and this is the ending and closing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to enable one of which, and that is something like this. Copy this one. So here ID central. So this ID central, mirror of everything, and this is the URL of what? Any idea? URL of downloading, URL of virtual repository, which is a group. Remember? So here, go to the virtual repository, which is, where is that? DevOps group. Here it is. So this is the URL. I'll give it. Why I'm giving URL? Not, you can give one repository also, but I'm giving a virtual repository. Why? Because if I want to download from the some other repository also, this URL will work for me. Are you understanding?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is something which you need to remember. You have to give this one and closing this one. Okay. So this is done, guys. I just saved it. I enable it here and I saved it. And after that, do whatever you want. Call goal called Maven package. So it should be downloading that Maven package. So let's do that. Go to the main and ambient package. So let's see if the downloading is happening from Artifactory or not. We'll see that. Downloading is not happening actually. So what could be the reason for it? Downloading never happened for this dependency. What could be the reason for it?
The package already exists
Where?
in the M2.
Wonderful. Remember that the flow you should never forget. See here, I told you very clearly. So M2, if it is found, then it automatically resolve and continue with the work. So it was, so unfortunately I'm using the same server for all the time. So it never downloaded from Artifactory. So what to do? Manually, because of the demo purpose, I need to show you. So let me go to M2. Manually, I'll delete that. Com, DevOps School, software, chat. See here, this is the package. I'll delete this. Now it should download. So now I'll run it. Maven package, mail component. And here you see downloading is happening now. See my address. See here is come. And this is how you do download. Understood all of you?
Yes.
So guys, this is Artifactory, a place for that you can create a repository, different kind of repository, and using the build tool you can upload and download the packages. This is how you work. Are you able to understand? Any questions? Any confusion?
So you were saying that we can also add a remote repository of central, let's say.
Yes, I did. No, I did. Here you see, this is a central repository. See here, Maven remote. Here, this is a central repository. So automatically
So
it
what?
started. The moment you add it, automatically started syncing from this place, central place.
Okay.
Got it?
So what happens if the name is same of the package in local and remote? So it's based
So
on what you have set in the URL.
repositories are different. All right. Let's say if you both different repository, same name, same location, same package, same version, then the highest priority will be, I think, if I remember correctly, local repository. Okay.
Okay.
In the group, because you're calling group repository here. So if in the group 2 repository which has the same location, same package, same version, and okay. Sorry, there's a
URL
correction
will be
required.
different.
No. URL, if URL is different, then anyway that there's no problem. But if you have a 2 repository, same path, same package, same version, then what will be there? So which will be used? So here it will be used the latest one. So whichever got uploaded last one, which will be used.
Okay.
Checks. Got it?
Yep.
but this will not happen. This will not happen. Hypothesis scenario. This will not happen because you don't want to duplicate the package. That's a thing. Okay. Any other questions, guys? All of you? Okay. So now next topic is how to upload and download Docker image. So same thing. Now it's a rapid fire. I'm telling you. So same thing. You have to do that again. This tutorial you'll find here. Upload Docker image Artifactory DevOps code, and here this tutorial will help you. Okay, this tutorial will help you, but anyways I'll show you this one also. So these are the things you have to do. So what to do? So first thing, you have to go to Artifactory, and here you have to create a repository. Access I'm having it. So you have to create a repository. How do we create a repository? So you know that very well. Repository, add repository, local, this time Docker. What is this? Docker key. This is the key I'm updating it. Okay. Now these all these things you should check once. Okay, and create a repository. Now Docker has little differences, so you have to creating repository, and after that you have to go to the advanced. Okay, and see that some of the things which is there or not. So this is the HTTP settings. Okay, so here what is happening in the Docker case, you need a reverse proxy also. Okay, so if you see that here, first thing, create a Docker repository. I created. Okay, that is done, and after that you have to convert into the proxy, reverse proxy. Okay, so how do we convert that? I'll show you here. So go to Artifactory. I'm just checking all the settings. So here it is a reverse proxy. This is things. So it says to view and download the snippet, go to the reverse proxy. So reverse proxy you will find under the general tab here. Okay, directly you can go to this here, click on it, discard, and here it is, HTTP settings. So if you come to the general here, let me minimize this all this thing here, general and setting, or mail server, no, just in proxy configuration, no, it's mode actually, just can hold on, I need to find out that locations. HTTP proxy is
There is an option to create new proxy in the proxy
no,
configuration.
I got it here. See, you click on this Artifactory. Okay, this UI got little changed, so I got confused. I'm using older version of Artifactory in my organization. So here Artifactory, click on it. Here you have HTTP setting. Okay, but if you find little bit lost, okay, this HTTP proxy settings, okay, here it is. You can go to the repository, and here Docker repository, or I created Docker just now, right? This is one, and click on the advanced button, and here you can click here. So only for Docker repository you need a reverse proxy. For the other repository you don't need reverse proxy. So there are regions for it actually, and the regions also I have uploaded in some blogs. You will search here and you get it. So now how do you create a reverse proxy? So you can create using path, you can create using port, you can create using subdomain. So subdomain anyways we don't have it. Port you can set it up, or path you can set it up. These are the reverse proxy way. Okay, Now in this tutorial, which I have suggested you guys, is just a second, Artifactory and Docker. So this is the little up to date. So here, this is the reason why we should do the reverse proxy. So here, port method, subdomain, and path. So here, what we have done, did this. So here I'm using the repository path. Okay. So these are the things you have to enable. So for that, you can go to path method and let it be. Now you copy this content, and this is a one more thing. When you use the repository path, Proxy is powered by embedded Tomcat. So Artifactory is running with the Tomcat, so you can do that. By the way, Proxy you can create through the Apache or Nginx also, which I'm not doing right now, and let it be everything same. So what you should do, copy this content which would help you. Okay. Now here, remember the push pull command. So pull and push against this. Okay. Here. Okay. So this is the command for push pull. Login. This is the command for login. Okay. So now this is done, and I'm using the path. So how do we use the path? For that, you have to do something actually. So for that, first thing is, let me show you an error. It will be easy for me. So what to do? So IP address, this I'll copy, and this is the IP address 192.168.1.11. So here 11. So this is the IP address, port number, repository key and image. Okay, should come from Artifactory. So here my repository key is this one, Docker repository key. So this is the one. Now image name, whatever you want to keep it, that's up to you. So let's say image is DevOps, and tag you want to keep it or not, it's up to you. If you don't keep it, it will be taking latest, remember that. So that's okay. So this is my command for push and pull. So push, and this is pull, and this is the command to login. Do you remember the Docker session, all of you?
Yes.
So push and pull. So username is, password I'm having it, okay, and this is the something which you have to use this one. Okay, done. So this is for login, this is for push, this is for pull. Okay, so what I have to do, this user ID and password will not work until I give the access. So I go to the user management, go to the permission, and go to DevOps tool, add edit repository, here Docker, okay, and done. Group permissions, already you have it, everything, save it. So give the permissions. Now finally we will log into this command and then push and pull. This is what it has it and have. So are you able to understand, all of you? Only the port number got changed, 8081 to 8082, because this is last year port number and this is the new this year port. All of you are understanding this?
Yes.
Hello. So now what to do? So I need a Docker machine actually. So for that, do you have any Docker machine? Probably in the Kubernetes server, I'll have it actually. So let me start this. Root Rajesh123. Docker is there, right? Yeah. Yeah. What is the IP address? It's 17, right? Yeah. So let's log into 17 now. And Rajesh123 and done. Now Docker images. So I have one Nginx. Okay, this image I want to upload it. So what I should do, the image name I taught you in the Docker tag Nginx. To the name should be this one, equal to this name. Okay, image name should be that one. So I'll create this image first and did this. So I got that image which you see here. Okay, after that login, this is a command and there is a problem. See, the problem here is it says you are trying to log in, a remote error. So first let me check the ping IP address. Guys, those who are not speaking, can you please put in the hold? Mute. So it's correct. So here the error which I see here, my repository which you see that here is HTTP. Okay, and here if you see by default is HTTPS. So what to do in this case? So in this case, I need to do this activity, which is what? So I have to convert my repository to HTTP, which is not good practice, but we have to do that. See, okay, just for the demo purpose. So you should have a working with this one. So that is what I'm doing. So I'll open this URL and now I will just go and I'm using CentOS, right? So create this file in my Docker. I'm configuring a Docker right now. I'm informing Docker, hey Docker, don't connect to HTTPS, connect to the HTTP in secure registry. So I'm giving this one. So here in secure registry is this one and port number is 8082. Okay. So this is something I will just go and check this. So go to repository and Docker here, advanced. I'm just checking that all these things is correct or not. And port number 82, everything is correct. Okay, so I'm just adding this entry in this file and save it. Now I have to restart the Docker, otherwise these changes will not take. So for that, okay, and now I'll log in one more time, and there is a still that problem, still is taking HTTPS. So still, okay, let me check that if I did the right way or not. Insecure registry. Aha, see, the IP address is a problem. See, so that's a mistake I did. 11 is IP address. Save it. Restart the Docker one more time. And log in. Now, so that error has gone. Okay, that error has gone, but now it says bad credentials. Okay, bad credentials. So what could be the reason for it? Maybe that is breaking the stuff. So I'll do one thing, deploy $123. So I'll remove this password from here. Deploy 123, I'll pass it through command line. So deploy $123. Login succeeded. What was happening? Dollar was breaking the line, so I just pass it through the command line. Did you understand that, all of you?
Yes. If you pass it as a in quotes, would that work?
It will work. It will work. Yeah. And then now I'm pushing that my image here. See, it's uploading, and pull also will do. It will download from other machine. Okay.
One question: what was the reason for configuring reverse proxy? Why it is required for Docker?
The reason is Artifactory by design. It was not designed for holding that path for uploading and downloading. There is architecture limitations. Okay, and that this answer if you read this, you'll have it here. So there were architecture limitation. Because of that, you have to do the port forwarding. This problem you don't have in Artifactory only, in Nexus also you have. But if you use a registry, Docker registry and all, you will not have that problem there, because that tool is designed for that purpose. Okay, you see that it's pushed. Can I validate now? Go to the Artifactory, go to the user part of it. Okay, and go to the Artifactory artifacts, and now Docker here, and you see here DevOps image has come. This one, latest, only one tag is there. So this is your file. Understood, all of you? How do you upload and download using Docker?
Yes.
So now same thing you have to do with the Python also, Gradle also, or NuGet also, or any other package type which you're using. You should know that tool particularly and upload and download using that. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so guys, next topic which we have is Packer. So let's have a break for 15 minutes, 1-5. And then once you come back from the break, I'll teach you Packer also. Okay, see you guys. Bye everyone.